20-year-old man was beaten up, shot, and his head was crushed with a stone in Maharashtra's Nanded. At his funeral, his girlfriend applied vermilion, also known as sindoor, on her forehead and vowed to live in his house as a daughter-in-law. Anchal is the girlfriend, the visual of that girl there crying. That's Anchal, and she has vowed to be her dead boyfriend's wife. Now, Anchal met Saksham through her brothers and grew closer over frequent visits to his home. Their 3-year-old relationship recently began facing pressure from her family, who opposed their union over a difference in their castes. Anchal continued the relationship with Saksham despite various threats from Anchal's family. When Anchal's brothers and father learned that she was going to marry Saksham, they beat him up on Thursday, shot him in the head and crushed his head with a stone. While my colleague Vedika spoke exclusively to Anchal, take a listen.
हमें बहुत खेद है, आप जिस पल से गुजरे हैं बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्ट पल है आंचल। आप हमें कुछ बता सकते हैं सक्षम के बारे में? आप 3 साल से उनको जानते थे?
हाँ, जानते थे। 3 साल से हम साथ में थे। हमने बहुत सारे सपने देखे थे। घर वालों ने भी भरोसा दिलाया था कि शादी करा देंगे हमारी, लेकिन एट लास्ट उन्होंने हमें धोखा दे दिया।
आप बता रहे हैं आंचल कि आपके फैमिली ने कहा था कि आपकी शादी होगी सक्षम के साथ। ये कब कहा था आपको?
कहा था 2 साल पहले, और सक्षम से भी यही कहा था उन्होंने। उसके साथ अच्छे से मिलजुल कर रहते थे, साथ में बैठ के खाते पीते थे। मतलब उसको भरोसा दिलाया जा रहा था धीरे धीरे।
और आपको विश्वास था उस वक्त 2 साल पहले कि आपकी शादी होगी सक्षम के साथ? आपकी फैमिली, आपके परिवार समर्थन दे रहे थे आपको?
हम दोनों को भी पूरा विश्वास था, बहुत समर्थन दे रहे थे, लेकिन एट लास्ट धोखा दे दिया ना उन्होंने हमें कुछ आइडिया भी नहीं था कि ऐसा कुछ होगा।
इस वारदात के बारे में आप हमें क्या बता सकते हैं? आप अभी यू आर बीइंग वेरी ब्रेव आंचल।
तो कोई भी भरोसा करता है
जी, यू आर बीइंग वेरी ब्रेव राइट नाउ, बट हम आपसे सुनना चाहते हैं आंचल, क्या हुआ था?
मेरे घर वाले हमारे रिश्ते के खिलाफ थे। मतलब उन्होंने मुझे कहा था कि वो जय भीम वाला है, उसके साथ तेरी शादी नहीं हो सकती। फिर एक दिन ऐसा है, मतलब मेरे घर वालों ने, मेरे पापा ने खुद सक्षम से बात की कि अगर तुझे मेरी बेटी से शादी करनी तो तुझे हमारे धर्म में आना होगा, हिंदू धर्म में। और वो मेरे लिए सब कुछ करने के लिए तैयार हुआ था जब मेरे पापा ने हमारी शादी के लिए हाँ बोला था। लेकिन पता नहीं अचानक से उनके मन में क्या आया।
All right, let's now tell you more such cases of killing when it comes to caste. Number 1, the Samastipur honor killing. Now, the Samastipur honor killing took place earlier this year, where a father killed his own daughter. The father, identified as Mukesh Singh, was arrested for killing his 25-year-old daughter. The reason being because his daughter eloped with her boyfriend, who belonged to a different caste. Then, in June this year, a second incident took place where a teenager was murdered over an affair. She was beheaded with a bolt cutter and then her body was dumped in a canal. She was murdered by her own family members, again for having an affair with a boy from a lower caste. Then in 2018, this incident is from the state of Telangana. This is a very famous incident, the Pranay honor killing case, wherein the boy, a Dalit Christian, was killed in broad daylight for what? For marrying an upper caste woman. Now, remember, these three incidents they are perhaps just the tip of the iceberg, and there are a number of cases which even today goes underreported, which are not reported at all. And well, to talk more on these caste-based atrocities here in India, I am now being joined by Dr. Akriti Bhatia. She's a sociologist and an ex-assistant professor from Miranda College, Delhi University. Thank you for being here with us today, Dr. Bhatia.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for picking this issue up, because it's an everyday phenomena which has been normalized and accepted and also legitimized, which I think it's a great thing to pick it up, and we need a complete political outrage over it.
Right. Right, Dr. Bhatia, like you've pointed out that this is an incident which we've seen today. It reminds us all that how we're still tied to caste-based atrocities here in India. What does this incident reveal about the intersection of caste norms and other practices in the 21st century?
Yes, it's shocking that we're in the 21st century and we talk about India as a global superpower treading its path, and we see parallelly such incidents every hour. I wouldn't even say every day. That such incidents are taking place. So honor killing, I would say, is not about honor. It's actually rooted in patriarchy, in caste supremacy and control over women's autonomy. So it's actually related to, like you said, many other institutions. It's about the overall position of women in society and their choices, because when you look at the overall asset ownership that women have in India, it's abysmally low. It's less than 10%, even land. For that matter, even in rural areas where agriculture is practiced mostly by women, when male migrants have actually come to the cities, and yet there's no land ownership that they have. And we have institutions of dowry, which is again normalized and an everyday practice. And if you look at women and Dalit, and especially Dalit women, their positions in society, there's nobody questioning it. And I would like to quote here the architect of our Indian Constitution, Dr. Ambedkar, who said that the annihilation of caste can only happen with practices like intercaste dining and intercaste marriages. And apart from other more radical things also that he had proposed, but these were certain things that he said are going to be resistance, how we can resist the caste system, which we know is very, very problematic, but we do not see any political outrage. We do not see politicians making open statements, because somewhere we see that the ruling elite are also embedded in these structures. When you look at village societies, the Khap Panchayats, it's actually, these are the people, a group of strong men, old men, who actually decide the fate of
Right.
women, of couples. And these are not love stories gone wrong. These are the cases of how society is rotten. And I would say that this young woman, by actually giving this kind of statement openly, and this act that she has demonstrated after the death of her lover, is an act of resistance. And I think more people should come out, more women should come out. And it's also, when you look at this anti-Romeo squad, and you look at
Right,
so many
Dr.
other
Bhatia.
things like the Uniform Civil Code, in which some of the practices are completely anti-women. I think these are the things that we really need to talk about openly.
Right, absolutely, Dr. Bhatia, and like you also you mentioned Khap Panchayat and all of that. In most of such instances, the honor of the society, of the family, always relies on the woman. With such incidents, can you perhaps explain how caste hierarchy systematically restricts a woman's freedom to choose her partner, and why in most of the cases the weight of maintaining family or if I may, community honor is imposed entirely on a woman?
This is very historical, I would say. When you look at some of the ancient scriptures, it prescribes women to stay indoors during their periods. There are strict rules There are, how a woman's body is seen as a space for purity. So intermingling of a woman basically with any form of other religion, other caste is seen as really a threat to society, and the balance that it maintains. The kind of caste system is basically propagated and preserved because you're able to control women and their sexuality. And it's also about very basic things. You see how there's restrictions on temple entry, and it's also in urban spaces that you will find that even if you see intercaste marriages, there'll be very rare cases of a Dalit and a Brahmin marriage. You will see that the middle castes are more commonly marrying among each other, but there's still, if you look at the extreme spectrums, it's still, even in urban spaces, something which is not acceptable. And if you go to interfaith marriages, that's even you have the entire positioning of
Right.
love jihad. I'm not saying that there are not cases where women are also basically fooled
Right.
and tricked, but in this scenario, for example, the male was tricked, and the family kind of
Right.
it was a systemic thing. It was not an
Right,
act of
Dr. Bhatia.
impulse. Right.
Right.
So I think it's historically
Right.
there that caste structures are embedded in
Right,
how
Dr.
you
Bhatia.
control a woman's autonomy. So.
Right, Dr. Bhatia. I'm sorry, I'll have to stop you there. We're running out of time, but thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight and sharing your insights with us on this.